Very good morning, children. Jalke Tripathi here. Dear students, we have been studying history chapter 8, that is the Mauryan Empire. In the sequence of the new video, we shall see the next topic, that is administration under the Mauryas. What type of administrative system was there during the Mauryan period? This topic will give us information a lot. So let's start. Numerous literary sources as well as the rock and pillar edicts of Ashoka give us a detailed account of the Mauryan administration. So many edicts, pillars built by Ashoka are there. They give a lot of information about the Mauryan administration. Different levels of administration. What was that? The Mauryan Empire had an efficient administrative system. It functioned at 4 levels: central, provincial, district and village. The capital city of Pataliputra was administered separately. जो कैपिटल सिटी पाटलिपुत्रा थी इनकी, वो अलग से इसको एडमिनिस्टर की जाती थी, इस पर शासन अलग से किया जाता था. सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन क्या था? द किंग वाज द सुप्रीम अथॉरिटी. ही टुक ऑल इम्पॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस. द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स, जिसको हम मंत्री परिषद कहते हैं, असिस्टेड हैं. राजा ऑल इन ऑल होता था, उसकी काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर जो होती थी उसको असिस्ट करती थी टाइम टू टाइम. वेरियस ब्रांचेज ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सच एज एग्रीकल्चर, डिफेंस, रेवेन्यू, सिक्योरिटी एक्सेट्रा वेयर अंडर ऑफिशियल कॉल्ड अमात्यास. So many branches of administration were there, including agriculture, defense, revenue, security, जिसका काम अमात्य देखते थे. अमात्या वाज द हेड मिनिस्टर ऑफ द एम्पायर. प्रोविंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. वी नो फ्रॉम अशोकन एडिक्ट्स the names of 4 provincial capitals during the Ashokan period, which were the provincial administration or provincial capitals. They were Toshali in the east, Ujjain in the west, Swarnagiri in the south, and Takshashila in the north. These 4 main capital cities were there during Ashoka's reign. Each province was headed by a Kumara or royal prince. The prince ruled the province as the representative of the monarch. जो prince होता था, मतलब the son of the king, was the head of all these capitals. And he was a representative of the monarch, मतलब राजा का वो एक प्रतिनिधि होता था. The Kumara was assisted by महामात्या, जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर होते थे. कुमारा मतलब प्रिंस, जो राजकुमार होते थे उनको महामात्या असिस्ट करते थे. और मंत्री परिषद जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर होती थी. डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैसा था? ईच प्रोविंस वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू ए नंबर ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट. The head of the district was Pradekshta. He was assisted by junior officers such as the Yuktas and the Rajakas. At the district level, some important functions were survey and assessment of land, collection of revenue, and maintenance of law and order. These all works were looked after under these officers. Now we shall know about the village administration. Each district consisted of many villages. The village was the smallest political unit. Its head was Dharmadhyaksha. He was responsible for collection of taxes, keeping records of births and deaths, and other law and order problems. He was answerable to the Pradeshta. The welfare of the people was always the prime concern for the Mauryans. Chandragupta undertook many welfare projects such as construction of roads and planting of trees. Ashoka was even more concerned about his subjects and made a lot of efforts to ensure their comfort and convenience. He built good roads for the travelers under his rule to provide the travelers with shade and food. Fruits trees were planted along the roads. Wells were dug at regular intervals to provide water. For the weary travelers, rest houses were built. Ashoka also built many hospitals, both for people and animals. For the cultivation of medicinal herbs, Ashoka set up a number of nurseries. Army. The Mauryas had a large army. The army was under an official called Senapati. He was the army commander. He was responsible for the warfare and maintenance of army. The Mauryan army included infantry, cavalry, elephants, chariots, and navy. The army was equipped with bows, arrows, swords, armor, shield, etc. The army defended the kingdom from external attacks. It also maintained law and order within the empire. The officers and soldiers were adequately trained and regularly paid. Spy system. One of the important features of the Mauryan Empire was its spy system. Spy means जासूसी. जो जासूसी की प्रथा थी वहाँ पर जो सिस्टम था ये बहुत यूनिक था, इम्पॉर्टेंट फीचर हुआ करता था. ये टाइम टू टाइम इन्फॉर्म करते थे, सूचनाएं देते थे राजा को कि हमारे देश में क्या चल रहा है, देश के बाहर क्या गतिविधियाँ हैं. जैसे जासूसी करना, किसी के बारे में छिप के पता करना. They were posted in different parts of the kingdom. They informed the king about the development within the kingdom and outside. The spies also collected public opinion on different important issues. Land revenue was the main source of income for the Mauryan government. It was fixed between 1/4 and 1/6 of the produce. The tax depended on the fertility of the soil, forests, mines, custom, trades, crafts, as well as fines and gifts were other sources of income. A system of water tax and road tax is also maintained in the Arthashastra. The money collected through taxes was spent on the maintenance of the army, payment of salaries to government officials, charities, building works, and on public utility services such as building roads and hospitals. The priests and monks did not pay taxes. Sometimes tribute was collected from different class of people. Unlike taxes, which were collected regularly, tributes were collected whenever the royal authorities found this necessary. Tributes were mostly paid in kind. Occupation. Most of the people of the Mauryan Empire were farmers. There are evidences of other groups such as artisans, herdsmen, carpenters, potters, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, etc. A large number of people were employed in the army of the king. Some worked as government officers. Trade. Trade flourished during the Mauryan period. The traders organized themselves in guilds. Both inland and overseas trade flourished. Patliputra, Ujjain, Takshila, and Bros were important inland trading centers. Caravan traders carrying large quantities of goods moved from one part of the country to another. Trade relations with other countries such as Sri Lanka, China, Rome, Egypt, etc. were maintained. All traders had to pay taxes and customs duties depending upon the value of their goods. So up till here we have seen this topic. When we shall start the new topic, we shall see the next.